Now I'm gonna show you how to create tickets. So back to the dashboard, you should see there's a button on top. Click on that and a pop-up will appear. So the first thing, make sure you select the right projects, which is home BMS. You might have one or two projects associated with you, but make sure you select the right one. Next, select the issue type. We have three types of issues: improvement, bug, and error and crash. I'm sure you know what is improvement, but the difference between error and crash and bug is like, so say you have a blank page. When you open up all the details, nothing appears and it's just blank. This is error and crash. But if you're trying to save an orders, the information doesn't save, or instead save to something that is incorrect. That's a bug. So select the appropriate type. So in this case, we're gonna just select the improvement, and then next we're gonna select the priority. So same as the issue type, there are three types of priority: minor, major, and criticals. So if your issue or problem is critical, make sure you come to me first. We can solve the problem first, and then we create a ticket later on. So what do you mean by critical? So say you have a problem or issues that preventing you or the client from performing certain tasks or your daily operations, that is considered critical. So for example, right, you try to open up all the details and it blanks, you can't do any jobs. That's a critical. Or the client try to submit an orders, but then when he hit the submit button, the page crashed, the order cannot be submitted. That is critical too. The rest go to minor and majors. If you're not sure about how serious your problem, you can always come to me or go to Mike. He will assess it for you. And keep in mind that we have the ability to change the priority, so don't always submit it in majors, because we will rate the ticket. We'll rate each ticket on a weekly basis, give it a score from 1 to 10 to decide how important it is. If we discover that you submit a ticket that is listed major but it's not really important to us, we'll change the priority. And then next you're gonna key in a summary for the tickets. In this case, it's just the title of the tickets. So let's say we're submitting an improvement ticket. We want some new features. Let's say I want to add a new co-borrower view. Next, you're gonna give some description like the business requirement, a new field for co-borrower, which is what we already have, but I'll just use this for example. And the details. And you might want to explain why this feature is so important to you. And then you might want to specify this new view, where it should go. Provide screenshot if possible, and provide as much detail as possible, because it's very important for us to judge how important a specific ticket is based on the description. If you provide too few description, you might want to come back to you, and they're gonna take time. So this is where you're gonna upload the screenshot. I'm not gonna upload anything, but when you do submit a ticket, if you have screenshot, please attach it. And the next field is technical description, which is something for the software team. You can just ignore it, doesn't matter. So we are good for submitting to this ticket. Let's click the create button, and you shall see that the ticket has submitted 194. If you refresh the page, you'll see the ticket appears under this section on the queue. And if we done review it, we're gonna edit the information, change it to development, to start development, and we're gonna assign it back to you if Mike approved or me approved the tickets, so that when you go back to the dashboard, you see it under this section here. So let's say you're submitting a ticket not for improvement but for bugs. You're gonna need to key in something else for description. So let's say we have a problem in email notifications. So in this case, right, you don't need business requirement or reason for the description, but instead you need the detailed explanations on the problem. Like okay, for this case, client says that the email notification from our system contains no body but only the subject. And then you might want to ask yourself, is this happening for all the time, or is this a specific case? And is this happening to internal team as well? And provide as much detail as possible so that I can reproduce the problem or the bug. If I cannot reproduce a problem, it's very hard for me to keep track and debug it. And one thing that's very important, please provide a screenshot for bug and error crash issue type. You might not need a screenshot for improvement, but it's very important to have a screenshot for the bug and crash issue type. Submit it, and we're good to go. See, for improvement, you're gonna see the icon for this green icon, but for error and crash and bug, they have a different icons so that you can differentiate them.